The parents of a newborn have been banned from seeing their little boy due to border restrictions. Harvey John Northfield was born on Friday morning in Lismore in northern New South Wales, but had to be flown to Queensland for emergency treatment. Now Harvey's mum has been told she will have to enter a 14-day period of quarantine if she wants to visit her child.
My birthday tomorrow, which makes it so much harder, because all I want is both my boys with me, happy and healthy, but one's going to be in Brisbane where we can't see him.
Suffering complications, Harvey was flown to the Royal in Brisbane on Friday night.
I obviously wanted to go with him, but unfortunately with the coronavirus pandemic, we were not able.
Chantel told there was no room in the helicopter, but they could come by car, so they got the paperwork, permission from New South Wales Health and border passes from Queensland Police.
There was a lot of different phone calls and we spoke to a lot of different people.
Then they took a call from the Royal Brisbane Hospital. It changed everything.
They decided that we were too high risk coming from Lismore.
Higher up had said no unless we quarantine for 14 days.
Now at home with her 1-year-old son Lloyd, Chantel's relying on video calls to see her newborn.
FaceTime's just not the same because I can't even lay a finger on him and just say that I love him. He's just hooked up to tubes, he's sleeping, and he doesn't get to hear my heartbeat and feel.
Even the Deputy Premier of Queensland has become involved.
The couple will continue negotiations.
If there's any way at all we can make the situation any less distressing, then I've asked the hospital to do just that.
The health service is yet to respond.
It's just not right, and it shouldn't happen ever again to anyone.
Indeed. Well, the good news is Harvey's health is continually improving and it's hoped that he'll be home by Wednesday. Look, Robert, this is very tough. There's no doubt about that. But we are in a pandemic. We do have quarantine procedures.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Rob. It's very sad story that, you know, they've been separated. But at the same time, and I'm not a new parent, and I know that there'd be a lot of emotions there. Of course, there's a lot of emotions just watching that story. But you have to wait, less than a week, and your baby will be there. But if you do go there and somehow bring COVID inside a hospital, and also remember this little fella's in a specialist unit, it could be devastating for the other babies. So it's less than a week for the parents, but you can't walk into a hospital right now. And especially a specialist baby unit. It's just, I'm sorry, but you can't do it.
Look, Ben, as a father, I will say it would be heartbreaking not to be able to see your newborn child. Like, terrible. The good news here is, though, the bub is on the mend. But the father in that report last night on 7 News was saying this should never happen again. Well, what's the alternative? You know, I know that they were looking to let them in, but obviously they realised that there are restrictions to this. They can't just let anyone in across the border.
Yeah, I think that everyone's doing it really tough right now, but don't you think that at the moment in the media we love to find those bleeding heart stories or people so they can pick up the victim complex telephone call and be like, oh God, this is happening to me. This is definitely really hard to watch because, you know, for this particular family, they're going through something, but so is the rest of Australia. I don't necessarily think that they need to bend these rules for just these guys. I mean, there's bigger things at play. There's bigger things going on. And, you know, when it comes down to minimizing risk policy, it seems like that's all that's happened. So I just would say, you know, it's on brand for people to be sitting at home and watching these stories on television so that they can maybe relate to them. But I don't necessarily agree with it.
Yeah. Look, and look, we do care about the parents. We're not heartless. And I am a father of 3 girls. I know what it's like to be there for the birth and how much time you spend in hospital. It's tough. No one's taking that away. But we are trying to keep a pandemic under control.
It's the Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo.